overall, I think there's a lot of impact players. However, we haven't mentioned every name. We have 11 draft picks. We, don't know if any of them, well, we assume most of them, but we don't know exactly who's going to be making the team. So,
Right.
Joshua, is there a rookie that the Ravens drafted that you just feel like they're not getting the shine that they should? Because we talk about a lot of these guys. We talk about Starks and Green and Buchanan and Vincent. I feel like those are kind of the big names right now. Loop gets a little bit of mention because he is a kicker, but who's the rookie people aren't talking about enough?
Oh man, you pretty much know. I'm a Buff Nation. I'm a Buff Nationer. I got to talk about him. I got to talk about Mr. LaJohntay Wester. I mean, let's be real about it. We haven't had a return specialist. I don't know how long. It's like damn. It's a damn.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a long time. That's a long time. So I mean, when you think about that, and granted, yes, I do understand that the kicking has been changed, but when you look at Mike Turpin, he still made something happen out of this new kicking rule and still made himself available and reliable on the Dallas Cowboys team as just a specialist. Period. Hell, sometimes you need those game changes. Sometimes you need those jolts of energy, those boosters. And I feel like LaJohntay Wester could definitely be that guy. Also, I will say, with Zay Flowers going down the way he did last year, I don't know if we had him, if it would make a difference. But at the same token, putting him outside, putting him on the field on the opposite side of the ball, he can be that gadget guy. He has freaky speed. When he's one of those type of guys when, he may not show it, but when you put the ball in his hand, it's like almost how like Jerry Rice was. Jerry Rice was not the fastest of runners, but when the ball get in his hand, another gear kicks in and he just lights up and he did what he needed to do. So maybe we see Zay Flowers take less of those gadget plays, and we see him get out there, work the middle, do things to pretty much put us in better position than what we do on the offensive side of the ball, because there is moments on the offensive side of the ball where we just can't move. We do have levels of stagnancy. Sometimes we need that kick return or that punt return that can get us close to the 15, 20, or the 30 of opposing teams. Now Tyler Wallace, he's had moments, but it's not consistent. So, I mean, to get a guy that can be, possibly a consistent game changer in the specials team, which, we really haven't had in a long time since, Jacoby, recipes to the guy, man. I definitely feel like, he's that rookie we don't speak about enough, because the way the NFL has adapted and changed, where special teams is not what it used to be. Because remember, you used to see you see people flying around. Sadly, Antonio Brown, when he was a return specialist, he would kick people in the face, kick kicks in the face. But those moments, it really was like a wave. It took the crowds up and down, and it could be game changing moments. Because hell, if you on a kickoff team, defenders look forward to the moment they get on the field to knock somebody out and get the ball back for their team. Those are the unsung heroes. So I love that we took a chance on him. And I'm looking forward to see him possibly making this 53-man roster and contributing to this team this upcoming season.
I fully agree. I think he's not being appreciated, because I think a lot of people, when they mention him, that the only thing they think about is they go, yeah, returner. Like, that's cool, right? But he's also a wide receiver, and he was also a good wide receiver at Colorado. And not just like, okay, he was good, he was just a gadget guy, but it felt like Colorado, they were in a lot of close games. And it felt like LaJohntay Wester actually was able to come up with a lot of clutch plays. And the Ravens last year, they had Deontay Hardy. That was kind of the guy that they wanted to be the return specialist. He wasn't I think what they wanted, but they also tried to use him on offense a little bit. And he wasn't terrible, but like you said, Joshua, the gadget plays that we're trying to throw these to Zay Flowers, we're running out. Okay, like Zay Flowers can't just be a gadget guy. He's your number one wide receiver on this team. Having LaJohntay Wester provides the ability to get jet sweeps, jet motions without just tiring out your best wide receiver on your team. Because when you have Zay, pre-snap motioning, sprinting across, doing all that, like it gets tiring. And we can still do it with Zay. But also, Zay has missed plenty of games in his career, knock on wood, right? But overall, we want to make sure that we have a guy that can run those routes. I felt like when we played the Bills, and again, I don't necessarily think that if we had Zay, we would have won. I think we just kind of played poorly overall in all aspects. I don't think it was Zay's fault, but we just couldn't do any of that short passing game because just Bates not a yak guy.
Anthony Miller
guy. Anthony Miller was like our guy.
He was attempting, he had moments, but it was like,
you're not worried about Anthony Miller at this point in his career taking one. LaJohntay Wester would you'd bring him on and they're like, oh, we already know he's an explosive punt returner. Like, uh-oh. And he also does have the speed to get behind the defense. He can run routes out of the slot. He can make, catches over the middle. Like he was a slot receiver that's really good in space. Very different from the typical, like, Wes Welker. Like the small slots that are just sure hands and things like that. LaJohntay Wester is fast twitch, quick, and explosive. So I do really like
6'2".
He's not too small. He's good size. Like he's super skinny. Like you don't want him like taking hits over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But he can definitely take one. My guy that I think that we're not talking about enough, and again, people are talking about all the rookies. Like this isn't something where it's like, oh, nobody talks about them. Like I want to give a shout out to the corners, BK and Longerbeam. Think they're both solid. I think people are mentioning them, right? Really good corner depth, both really fast. But I think that Fub is my guy right now. Fub Peoples, out of Virginia Tech. I think we really needed a rotational, 3-tech. A rotational guy that can come in for Beaks, come in for Travis Jones, and not just be there. Because that's one of the problems with Broderick Washington isn't a bad football player. But Broderick Washington comes in and you just barely notice him. You're like sometimes we'll be like, oh, Broderick Washington with the tackle. And you're like, cool. Yeah. But when Travis Jones is in, you're like, oh my God, he just leveled the quarterback again. Beaks comes in and he's like, he just collapsed the pocket and got another sack or forced the quarterback to roll out into Adafe or Kyle Van Noy. Like Beaks might lead the league in assisted sacks where he just doesn't actually touch the quarterback, but he makes them run away. Bub is a pass rusher from the interior spot. He's not a 10 sack guy. That's not what I'm saying this year, but he brings that ability to come in quick. He's quick off the ground. He's got good hands. He's got a spin move that he utilizes on the inside. Like he just has a little bit of a pass rush bag that, he can bring to the table and he can get you a sack. He can get you a collapsed pocket. And that really benefits our defensive line. Just rotationally, right? When you're on third down and it's third and long, we're probably not seeing them, right? Mm-hmm. That's when you bring in your big guns. That's when you got, Beaks. That's when you have Travis Jones. That's when you have your star pass rushers. But after that third down, you get to that 1st and 10 and Beaks is tired. You're like, hey, we could still get a sack here though. Like we still have a chance at pressure. Like, we don't want to put Brent Urban in. Brent Urban is a good goal line guy. Mm-hmm. You don't have Michael Pierce anymore, so that loses that depth. And Michael Pierce was at least decent at collapsing the pocket. He wasn't getting a lot of sacks, but he can collapse the pocket. Fub is my guy that I'm just like, he can do exactly what we want and exactly what we needed. I love that pick, especially because a lot of people were complaining about the draft, UDC isn't addressing this position, and then it was boom, he does it. I'm like, nice, we got the best one left. We did it. I feel like Jason did it.
Oh man,
what do you think about Fub, Joshua?
No, I like that. Honestly, another juggernaut that's going to be coming out of next year's draft is going to be my boy John Mayer out of UVA. He could have went in this year's draft. If you haven't watched the number 90, McConnell, and I'm talking about you talking about Travis Jones, like you talking about Matabike, like this young man got it. And
Nice.
another tidbit: his father was a former strength and conditioning coach for the Baltimore Ravens years ago, and he still does strength and conditioning. If y'all know what I'm talking about, then y'all know DSP performance training. A lot of his guys are in the league or D1 colleges. But knowing that we're going to get another guy in that interior that can really just demand that respect, demand that presence is good, because it's still, at the end of the day, yes, it's still being a passing league. The games are really won in between the trenches. We are getting teams with still having those hard nosed running backs. I mean, hell, for Nick Chubb to still be a free agent and not picked up by a possible potential championship team is crazy to me. When Nick Chubb is healthy, he's maybe one of the hardest workhorses ever to play the damn game. Hell, I wouldn't even be surprised if the Ravens took a chance on him, and we go even crazier with him, Keaton Mitchell, and Derrick Henry, and I don't know what Justice Hill gonna play, but we'll find something for him. But I love what he want to bring to the table. I love that he had to delete his tweet before he got drafted.
Yeah, his real post.
But I get it though. Everybody's literally mad about somebody getting drafted before them. Hell, I'm upset that we didn't even try to sign Kobe Bryant from Kansas. And what did he say? Yeah. It was in 26 quarters better than me. I said, hey, brother, listen. Obviously, they saw something that we didn't see. But, shout out to him and his career. So I'm definitely looking forward to see what Phelps do for us and provide for us. I hope he's another guy that slips in and make that 53-man roster as well.
I also think that nicknames are a big thing in the NFL, especially for like D linemen.
Yeah.
We got Beaks. We got Fub. I feel like I'm pretty good with Beaks and Fub. You could tell somebody that knows nothing about football, and you go, which defensive line would you rather have? Beaks and Fub or Travis and, Dale? And they'd be like, that's not a question. Like, we want Beaks and Fub. Like, obviously, we're going with Beaks and Fub. Like, they sound big. Like, they sound like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, you only get a nickname if you're good. Like, you're still going by your name. Like, probably a scrub. Like, I don't know. Like, Dexter Lawrence, one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL. Sexy Dexy. Great nickname. Man. Like, you got to have a nickname on the interior defensive line. Beaks also has Mata Beast, but nobody actually calls him Mata Beast. That's just what people randomly say. Sometimes it's like, no, Beaks and Fub.